30-year-old virgin to struggling, surviving single mother, wicked work. And you know who did it to her? A man. The same men that tell us that even if we've kissed another man, that we're a hoe. Look what he did to her. She was a good girl. But we need to pick better? Bullshit. Absolute bullshit.
So the woman on here who's crying because she went 30 years of being a virgin to being a single mother now. It's like, I do feel bad for her because she's emotional. But my thing is, are you pro-life? Is that what it is? Because if you go 30 years without letting one of these ins give you the okie doke to crack, like none of that, you wasn't going for none of that for 30 years. You're not gonna get me on the first okie doke. We're not 16. So I'm like, are you pro-life? Is that why you're crying? Because you're not gonna do what needs to be done?
Hey Rych Babes, it's Robyn Milan, and welcome back to the channel where we do it the rich way, girl. We think rich, get rich, and stay rich. Now, listen. There is a viral story floating around about a 30-year-old virgin. Not even the movie. This is real life, but it has a plot twist. She became a single mother after the first time, and it has caused a storm all over TikTok. She waited her entire life thinking that saving herself was her power. But the moment she finally gave her body and trusted a man, he lied, manipulated her, and got her pregnant, and then disappeared. Now she's living in a hotel with her baby, confused, embarrassed, and heartbroken. And the internet has split into two. Some people are blaming her, other people are defending her, but today we're not here to judge her. We're here to talk about why so many women end up in the exact same situation, even when they think they're doing everything right. All right, my loves, make sure that you like, subscribe, and share, and I'll be back shortly.
What I really wish is that for you men to be honest with women from the beginning. I've been battling this for years, crying for years, because I went from a virgin at almost 30 years old to a single mother. And it hurts me because I've been silent for too long. And all I hear people say is they disrespect women and mothers all the time. But they don't never talk about how men lie and deceive women. And they don't even want to be with them. I wish y'all would just be honest with women before the trauma begins. So I went from a virgin to almost 30 years old to a single mom, to be in trauma, to be in survival mode. That's what obsessed me the most. Like, I was a good girl my whole life, loyal to people that deceived me the most. And that's what messes me up the most. Like, I didn't even have a choice whether or not to be in survival mode. But you men don't care. You just move on to the next. You don't care who you put in survival mode. And y'all not trying to elevate at all. You're not trying to be with any woman. You're not trying to be with the woman that you really want to be with. Because you play games. You all play games for generations to come.
That 30-year-old lady that went from a virgin to a single mom, she thought she wasn't going to get played because she kept those legs closed. And here's the reality, right? Y'all be looking for validation in these men, and y'all be listening to these men and what these men be telling y'all to do. I feel like if you genuinely stayed a virgin all these years until you was 30, you should have did it for you, not for no man. Not because you thought you wasn't going to get played, not because you thought a man would respect you more. You should have solely did it because that's where your morals lay. And so I just feel like the fact that she's trying to make the whole situation about how she was a virgin since she was 30 and then she got played and was lied to and manipulated, like, yes, that's what men do. What does you being a virgin have to do with anything in that situation? I don't know. I could be insensitive, but I just feel like, what does her being a virgin have anything to do with the fact that she's a single mom? People become single moms every day because men are just manipulators.
What I'm not going to do is get on the internet and bash another black woman, but I am going to ask some questions. Number one, So we could wait 30 years, but we could not wait for marriage. You didn't even know what you was missing out on, sister. And you're not really missing out on nothing. This your first time. Allegedly. But yeah, I don't understand. And I'm not saying you can't get married and still end up a single mom, but what was the reason of waiting 30 years if you wasn't at least gonna get married first? Okay. Did you know that you could have intercourse and not get pregnant? You was tired of waiting. Okay. You didn't have to have a baby. Okay. Last, does holding on to your virginity cause you to lose common sense? Now, I didn't make that question. America made that question, but the people want to know.
30-year-old virgin to single mother is crazy as hell. Like, the timeline is crazy as hell, I know. But to wait your entire 20s and get to your 30s and decide to finally give it up, and the first man you give it up to turns you into a single mother, a baby mama who says she is in survival mode. Now that's crazy. How does something like that even happen? I need more details. I need more context, but I'm sure it's coming. All right, so this black woman looked traumatized, y'all. She got a blank stare, staring at the screen, mug on her face, bun to the back, looking tired, wore out, stressed out, and just at her wit's end. But this is why I say there's no glory in being a good girl. Like, waiting all that time to turn around and ultimately get played to the left. This is why a lot of so-called good girls have a high level of trauma. When you're a no-good, lying, narcissistic, downright bad girl, 304 or whatever, like, those women, they mental health be a little bit better. I know you're probably like, how, what, where? Like, they mental health when it comes to men. I'm going to be specific. When it comes to dealing with the opposite sex, they already know a lot about how these men are going to operate. They've seen the dark sides of men. They've moved through enough men to know how 80% of them are going to pretty much act the same, and like there's a small percentage of men that are actually going to be exceptional good men, and they don't come that often, and only so many women get those men. And so for everybody else, you're either going to consistently get played and let it drag you to the bottom and have you feeling like how she feel, overwhelmed, played, disgusted, like she just cannot handle what is obviously happening to her. And even though she wants to feel so special and so unique, that story has happened to so many women out here. And they still have to pick that shit up and keep it moving and take care of their child. I know she's feeling down and out right now, and so many people want to feel sorry for her. But really, it's time for her to go ahead and just accept the reality of what has happened with this man and get herself together, get her shit together, get her bag together, and take care of her child and just move on. Because there's more men out here, boo. More men.
Imagine the level of delusion, tomfoolery, that you're going to sit on the internet after losing your virginity at 30 years old and becoming a baby mama, saying that you didn't know that men lie and manipulate just to get the twat. Maybe if you was out there getting that twat twanged, maybe about 10 years ago, you would know for sure for yourself. You didn't really have to get the twat twang just to know. You could have just got some friends, a cousin, somebody. YouTube, I mean, there's all kinds of reliable sources out here. It's everywhere. None of us are above the program. And y'all men too. Y'all not above the program either. There's some girls out here that's going to give y'all a run for y'all money. Y'all keep playing around.
It's this lady on TikTok crying because she was 30 years old and she was a virgin and now she's a single mom. She described herself as a good girl. And as soon as she said that, I realized where her thought process was at. The same mindset that women who think their best asset is their vagina and they have sex with a whole bunch of men is the exact same mindset as a woman who thinks their best asset is their vagina and they don't have sex with any man except for one. Once you realize that a man is going to treat you the way that he's going to treat you based off of who he is and not how many people you had sex with, life would be so much easier. Regardless if you have one body or 100 bodies, as long as the man that you currently talk to and is one of them, they're happy. Your vagina is the bare minimum of womanhood. You should be a good girl because that's what you want to be, not because you want to be able to tell a man like, look, I have waited 30 years until I got here to have sex with you. And you see, he still left you. It happens. Like, I don't know. I feel bad for her, but it's just like Your thought process is what got you into this situation. Be who you want to be because that's who you want to be, not for no nigga.
All right, my love. So let's talk about the psychology behind all of this. Number one is purity. Like, purity was never her power, it was her proof. For years, society told her that being a good woman meant being untouched, quiet, and chosen. She held on to her virginity, not because she truly understood her worth, but because she thought one day that good behavior would earn her the love that she's been waiting for. And that's where the trap begins. When your self-worth is built on how well you can perform innocence. The second thing is he didn't see her as pure. He saw her as prey. All right? Men like that don't fall in love with purity. They're drawn to it because it gives them control. All right? They study your insecurities, your hopes, your trust, and then use it against you. To them, good girls are challenges, right? Like ones conquered and then discarded. Like, it's very sick, and it's psychological manipulation at its finest because they know that your love is tied to the idea of being chosen. All right. And the third one is shame, right? Shame silences women, and that's how the cycle repeats. When she finally opened up, she wasn't met with compassion. She was met with criticism. You waited 30 years for that? You should have known better. But here's the thing. She did what most women are taught to do. Be good. Be patient. Be submissive. Be forgiving. And still, she got played. And now she's left holding both the baby and the blame. Okay?
Lady on here who said she went from a virgin to a single mom in one go. She was waiting in her 30 years. First person, she decided to be like, okay, now it's time, made her a single mother. And so I would say to the young ladies that are also, like waiting and they feel like they're waiting a long time, they're virgins, etc. When you decide that it's the right time for you, do not let these men with more experience trick you, okay? Do not let them be like, oh, we don't need a condom. I could pull out all this drama. Hello? Get up and go. Get up and leave. Don't let them be like, oh, I don't have any. We could go to the store. Matter of fact, ladies, bring your own. Do not trust these men. It's safe, to be honest, safe for the men. Don't trust these women. If you feel, honestly, make them get a test before y'all do what you need to do. Both of y'all go get tested. And if they have a problem with that, wrap that situation up. Because you don't need it to be the first time you decide to give your body to somebody else, you end up with an STD. God forbid it's one that can't be cured. Because at this point, you got to go to jail. Okay? And listen, right now, we're still in the 21st century. You got options, my love. If you find yourself in a situation, you got options. And that just got to be between you and the Lord. Okay? But if you feel like something is not right, trust your instincts. If you are not feeling comfortable, get on up and get on out of there. You have the right to change your mind. Up until the very last second, you have the right to change your mind. Male and female. Both of y'all can be, either one of y'all could be like, I don't feel comfortable doing this. I still want to wait longer. I have some questions. I have some concerns. If you are not comfortable, if you feel like the situation isn't right, if you feel unsure, cut it. Cut it, put your clothes on, go home. My motto is, it is never too late to go home. It's never too late to send somebody out your house either. Do you understand me? Good.
I'm going to say the mean thing. A lot of you guys watched that TikTok of that 30-year-old virgin who became a baby mama and are infantilizing her. She was a freaking idiot. I'm sorry. Like, y'all are like, men are so evil. They sell promises. Girl, you were a 30-year-old virgin. You had that puss on lock. The minute someone batted their eyes at you and sold you a dream, you believed it. Y'all need to pray for that spirit of discernment. Oh my gosh. Honestly, all women of Christ need to make that prayer. Stop praying for a man, start praying for discernment, because that's how y'all get got in the worst way. I've seen too many stories of y'all falling for men and them opening their fat ass lips and selling you a dream. And now she on TikTok huffing and puffing and crying. Girl, no. Pack it.
I don't know about y'all, but I want to meet the man that swindled this young lady out her V card after 30 years. You know how many people have tried in 30 goddamn years, and this dude came along without a wedding ring and got her pregnant? Who the hell is this guy? Like, do we have his address? Like, what kind of game was he cooking up? Imagine that. That is fucking crazy. And then for her to come and tell us even more, I wouldn't even tell nobody this. Like, I understand it's not the flex she thought it was. I'm sorry. I mean, she hurt. I understand she hurt. I'd be sick. Lord knows. But to give it up without a wedding ring after 30 years, girl, you ain't been around no men. You ain't seen no games being played. Your friends ain't told you about no hit it and quit it. Like, her thought process has to be that of a 12-year-old. Because first off, how you get pregnant? Girl. The story gets worse and worse. And then she does what everybody hates. She comes online and cries and tells us about it. Like, nah, baby, once you start hunching, bitch, you grown now. Ain't no, we can't save you. We can't help you from not being a single mom. So you should have just kept the story to yourself. That is insane.
Well, I'm guessing this is what she was trying to express, is that she did everything right, and yet she still became a single mother. I just want to deconstruct the idea of doing everything right. Because one thing about this world is that it is not fair. It's not fair. No matter what you do, you still might get screwed. You still might get screwed. There's no such thing as doing everything the right way. Because, yeah, the guy ended up leaving, but other things could have happened, like illness, accidents. You know, no matter what you do, something bad can happen. And that's not meant to scare you. I think it's just meant to, in my opinion, remove a bit of pressure that we put on ourselves of doing everything right, making the right decisions all the time. Like, we try our best and that is all we can do. But this idea that, like, oh, if we take this turn, something epically horrible is going to happen. But if you stay here, something bad could happen too. And then if you go to the right, as opposed to the left, something bad can happen there as well. Life is full of extreme joys and extreme suffering. And we are going to pass through both of those extremes. So all that to say is that I do have empathy and compassion for this woman. I understand that idea, that pressure that society, our church, or whatever puts on us to be the good girl, the perfect girl. But at the end of the day, life will do what life does. And I will bring up the fact of it's important to have discernment. I don't think she should be made fun of at all. Because a lot of us have been conditioned in the same way. We just broke free earlier. We will not win in a system, in a society like this. Like, this society is not really made for women, especially Black women, to win. We can still win, but we need to decenter those expectations and reconnect with our intuition, reconnect with who we are, and make decisions that honor us. Because that's all we can do. You're living life for you, not for your church.
Bitch, who the freaking fuck do I have to go beat up? You're telling me that you were a virgin and now you're a single mama? These men are out of control. I cannot. When are we going to all collectively say, men, you are the problem, and before you even come and chase after women, you need to fix yourselves? I cannot believe. Actually, yes, I can believe, but I don't want to. Ignorance is bliss, okay? I wish I would have known. I wouldn't have known this shit, okay? This is getting on my nerves. I am pissed. This woman waited her whole life, pretty much, half of her life, for this moment, with the idea and the intentions to come into this, marry, bring children, breathe forth. But as soon as it happens, now the man, and not a man, piece of shenanigans, wants to now say, I don't want anything to do with you or this kid because I want to keep doing me. And as a matter of fact, I found you as a virgin, so I'm now addicted to this. I'm going to go and find more virgins and leave them in the same position that I left you. Stop! Get a dildo!
I'm not gonna lie, y'all. If this was me, I'd be crying. My feelings would be so hurt. Not because I'm a single mother, though. That wouldn't be the reason why I'm sad. The reason why I would be sad is because I held myself for so long and then I just gave myself up. The mother part is not even my issue. It's the fact that I gave you my, and I could have been out here getting it on my wedding night, but instead, for some reason, I gave it up to you. I don't know. That kind of throws me off. People are like, oh, well, she doesn't know better because she didn't date and all that stuff. But in the same breath, once you held it that long, you can't hold it any longer. I would have had enough life experience to be like, all right, might as well hold on to it until I get married. I don't know. That would have hurt my feelings. I can't say how I would have thought at 30 as a virgin though, but that would have hurt my. I would have been sad about the losing my virginity part. Yeah, that sucks. That sucks. Cause you like first time you lose your virginity, then you get pregnant, and then boom, and you're 30. Like you're not like 16 or anything. You're like 30. That's so hurtful. It's not funny. I would just be mad at myself that I gave up my virginity, like after I held it for so long. Like, my feelings would be so hurt. That's sad for her. But hey.
So there's this lady on TikTok. She waited until she was 30 years old to finally lose her virginity. And as soon as she did, the man that she lost it to turned her into a single mother. Look, if this event turns her into a misandrist and she hates men with all her guts and she just wants something bad to happen to every man out there and she just hates all of us, I don't blame her. I don't blame her at all. I mean, misandrists aren't my cup of tea, but I will support her after what she's been through. Damn, you waited till you were 30 to give it up. I'm pretty sure she vetted that guy the best she could, and he did this to her, made her a single mother. Oh my God, girl. I feel, I do feel for you. It sucks. It's terrible, and congratulations on the kid. At least every kid is a blessing. But if you hate men from now on, I'll support you on that. Also, I don't wish no ill will on anybody, but to the man who turned her into a single mother, if something happens to you, I'm not going to shed a tear.
There's this video going around about this 30-year-old, I think she's 30-year-old black woman who was a virgin, lost her virginity, and is now a single mom. And she talks about her story and just how men should be honest and pretty much how this man hurt her so bad and left her with a baby. And I've seen a lot of, mixed reactions, so on and so forth. And as someone right now at 25 who is still a virgin today in this society, I feel the need to explain exactly, where she went wrong and, just explain the situation overall. I understand, because black women, we've always had a struggle when it comes to being fast and growing in this, that, and third. And, virginity wasn't really something our parents really, instilled that much in us. Not much like how they do with white folks. Because white people take their little purity, they go a little overboard with it. But we don't really have those types of conversations in the black community. And I feel like we all know why. And based on what she sounds, based on just the tone of her video, I can definitely tell, I think she's also a strong Christian woman or something like that. And I just want to say, when you make something like purity and virginity your entire personality, as if that's the best trait about you, it's very easy for you to become a victim or a target at this point. Because she was both a victim and a target. That's all it really was. She did not develop a more stricter mindset outside of, oh, I'm a virgin. And there's so much more complexity regarding purity and virginity. See, for me, I develop a mindset where everyone does not need access to me, but I also treat sex as something that is very beautiful, very sacred between two people who really, love each other and care for each other in that moment. We may not be together, and I'm not really one to wait till marriage. If it happens, it happens. But to make it my personality, it's not something that It doesn't make me better. It doesn't make me any less of a woman. It's simply just something that I have. It's my last piece of innocence in a way. That woman treated her virginity as if it was a prize, and it wasn't. A lot of this also she has to take some responsibility, because a lot of this is also, just the consequences of her choices that she made. Because when she got pregnant, there was absolutely no definitive force for her to keep the child. That was a choice. Christian or not, it's still a choice. And she allowed that man to sell her a dream, and she fell for it. But a lot of that can also stem from not having a lot of guidance regarding, you know, men and how she should protect herself. In her mind, the man that she, you know, wanted to lose her virginity to, she thought that that was going to be her soulmate, her husband, all of that. And she fell for a fairy tale, and that's just the consequence. And don't get me wrong, y'all, I do sympathize with her because, like I said, a virginity for a woman is something that is very dear, that we hold close, because not, you know, that's, like I said, the last piece of innocence. So when you do finally decide, okay, he's the one that deserves to have it, you're going through all of these changes before, during, and after. Being a virgin does not make you special. It doesn't make you different. It doesn't make you anything. It doesn't. If anything, when a man hears that a girl is a virgin, it makes them work twice as hard to get it, knowing that they have no real intentions with you. Because men love the thrill of things. They love the thrill that I can literally manipulate you into doing anything that I want if I feel that you probably have never been loved or had, you know, intentions properly. They feed off of that. A virginity is literally just something to add to their body count roster. That's it. That's it. There's no special feelings. There's no rose petals, nothing like that. That is why you have to love yourself enough to develop a mindset to be strict enough with yourself. And unfortunately, this young lady did not love herself enough to maintain that strictness about herself. Because if she went 30 years being a virgin and then boom, lost it the first minute a man sold her a dream, she gonna be in for a rude awakening for the rest of her life. You gotta have some type of strictness about yourself and your body. Being called, 1%, or you're a rare breed, or that's nice that, you know, you've been a virgin for so long. It may sound good, but keep telling a man no, or I'm not ready, or I'm not this, or I'm not that, I'm not comfortable. Keep telling them that how many times, and you'll see exactly who they are regarding sex. You'll see exactly how they see you, how they respect you. Unfortunately, the man that took that young lady's virginity saw her as prey, and he caught her. Now she has to relearn about herself and learn how to be somebody's mother all at the same time. Like, she's literally cognitively, she's like a teen mom having to grow up with her child now. But at the end of the day, I hope she takes this as a lesson to be more stern with herself and to love herself even more without male validation. I really hope that, I hope she gets the help that she needs, but I really hope she takes this as a lesson. Because at the end of the day, this is a lesson. That it's sad that, her virginity was not something that she dreamed about or fantasized about, but this should prepare her for the next time involving sex and men.
Listen, I think these stories hit so many of us hard because a piece of us is within her. Like, we've all been there. We've all been dumb, stupid, and retarded, okay? When it comes to these men, like, we're doing everything right only to end up with the wrong man. And it's not just about her virginity. It's about the way women are raised to believe that our value comes from sacrifice. From a young age, we're taught that, pain is a part of love, that waiting makes us worthy, that our purity is what separates us from the women who, deserve to be played. So we perform, we play nice, we protect ourselves, but not for us. We protect ourselves for the approval of a man we haven't even met yet. Think about it. Like, that's not empowerment, babe. That's programming. And it runs so deep in our culture, in our families, and even in our friendships. Because, we live in a world that teaches women to be chosen instead of choosing themselves, right? If you're going to be a virgin for yourself. If you're going to be celibate for yourself. If you're going to be out here slanging, okay? If you're going to be out here popping that pussy, do it for yourself, right? So this story really exposes the silent trauma of good girls, the girls who never wanted to be problems, the girls who, prayed more than they asked for, the girls who thought patience and loyalty would protect them from a heartbreak. But the truth is, sometimes the best thing you can do is stop being good and start being aware. Awareness this doesn't mean that you become bitter. It means that you become more intentional. You start noticing red flags early. You stop mistaking attention for interest. You stop falling in love with potential and start observing patterns. You stop believing you can heal a man who doesn't even think he's broken. Because the good girls is often taught to endure, but the healed women learns to elevate. And here's the crazy part. Once you stop leading with approval, you start attracting alignment. When you stop trying to prove your worth, you stop auditioning for people who were never qualified to judge you, right? That's when you finally understand what love actually is. Not performance, not purity, not perfection, but peace, girl. All right, this is where the good girls gone bad, okay? When they gone forever at this point. See, people say she should have known better. You know, I don't judge her. Like, I see women who didn't get the guidance that she needed because not all of us grew up with the wisdom around this. I keep telling y'all that. Not everyone had the mothers or the aunties to teach them about emotional manipulation, self-concept, or self-protection. And yes, we do have the internet. I get it. I get it, but when you have been programmed since the moment that you were born and you don't know that there's no other way, yeah, until you hit rock bottom. And then you're like, oh shit, right? So some of us are learning, everything the hard way in real time. And if that's you, listen, I want you to know that you're not dumb. Like, you're not unworthy. You're not ruined either. Like, you just unlearning a version of womanhood that was never built to protect you, okay? So maybe this story isn't about a woman who failed. Maybe it's about a generation waking up. Like, women realizing that being the good girl won't save your ass either. Being aware is. Being self-sufficient is, right? Being financially independent will. And building a life that doesn't collapse when a man walks away. And that's the real glow up. Listen, my loves, listen. I'm so excited, girl, because Black Friday is almost here and I got so much going on. It will be an email launching this afternoon. And it's all about saving the dates, girl. You got to say these dates, girl. I'm so freaking excited. Okay, I'm so excited because this is the moment that we all have been waiting for, okay? Listen, make sure that you are on the email list at richmilanco.com. All right, I love you all so much. I'm just so excited for everything, my loves. All right, so I'll see you at the top because the bottom is too crowded. Until next time, Rych Babes. Stay rich. Love you.